Chrissy, welcome to Extras Art. Thanks for joining me. And today I'm going to be painting with pastels on paper. What I've got here are my supplies, and I'll start. I've got some pastel pencils. I've got some pan pastels that I'll be using. I've got my soft tools, and I've got some soft pastels. There we go, all ready. So I've selected my colours, and the paper that I'm using here is Pastelmat, and it's the anthracite. It's a deep dark charcoal grey, and this particular painting is, or this portion of the painting is, I'll be painting a portion of the painting, which is the tiger, and this painting is part of my element collection, and I'm up to the States. So what I'll do is I'll get going, and this is the area, hopefully, that you can all see. And so I'll just get going. Now I've also got paper towel, I've got my glassine paper, which I'll be using to rest my hand on, and I'll begin. But before I do that, and I always forget this, so it's record, so I'll press record. That's better. And hopefully you can, if you manage to get into the chat, if you could just let me know, whoever's maybe watching, perhaps maybe let me know if if the sound's okay. So, all right. So the pencils that I'm using, I need to put my specs on because I can't see. Okay. Using Faber-Castell pastel pencils, using Conti's Brunzil, and probably some, let me see, some Derwent's as well, pastel pencils, although I think these are a bit scratchy, so I try to avoid them. I only use them for a particular colour, so yeah, so that's the only reason why I use them. I mean, they're not too bad, but yeah, anyway. And I've just got a handheld sharpener. Not a very expensive one, but the blade is very good, so that's why I like using that. So I'll just go ahead, and so what I'll be doing now is I'll start off with my eyes, or in the eye area. Now this is quite a small tiger, so I have to make sure that my pencils are really sharp to make sure that I get enough detail. So yeah. So what I think I'll do is I'll work out with this tiger where my lights are going to be. And in this situation I have to make sure, as I said, that my pencils are sharp. I'll just pick all the areas. Hi, Wendy. Oh, okay. I'll see if I can fix this. Oh. Am I echoing now? No. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, or is it still echoing? Still echo. Let me see if I can fix this. I'm not sure. Hopefully I can. Still an echo. Okay. Is there still an echo now? Can you hear me at all? Okay. Oh, okay. Is it my microphone? Oh, maybe it's too loud. Is that better? Is that better? That's okay. Hi, Dee Dee. Hear you just fine, but with an echo. Okay. Not sure. That's no. Oh, okay. I wonder if I'm doing something wrong. So, Dee Dee, you can hear me. Okay. I've just put it down a bit, so would that help? Oh, okay. So you can hear an echo too. Wow. Okay. Bear with me just for a moment. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. We're okay now. Really? Maybe just reset the chat. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can. I'll go back. I'll reset something. Please bear with me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you hear yourself over your speakers? No. Oh, maybe I'll... Oh, it's the webcam. Oh, hang on. I think I fixed it. Hang on. Is that better now? I had the wrong microphones on. So is that better now? Wendy, you gotta love technology. Sometimes it has a mind of its own. Yeah, thanks. Oh, goodness me. Hopefully, I think I've got it because I had 2 speakers on. Would that be okay now? I'm so sorry. Okay, good. All right. Can I put on some music? Just, oh, perfect. Oh, wonderful. Is that okay? Oh. Is that okay now? Oh, good. Okay. I'll get straight to it. Oop. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. So, Wendy, what have you been up to? Yeah, so what I'm doing here, if I can get my reference photo back up, and it's a reference photo which I've purchased, and it's royalty free, so you know, I can't go into the jungle and photograph a tiger, so I'll this will have to do. And that Wendy, that music. There's also you can get it from like a royalty-free site as well. So, and it's something that you pay for, of course. But you know, like with YouTube, you've actually got to worry about copyright and strikes and stuff like that. So this particular company is very good for that. It specialises with YouTubers who want background music or music to put on their videos and stuff like that. So, because that's always a worry, isn't it? Dee Dee, how are you going, darling? Dee Dee's my daughter, by the way. Aphrodite is her name. Okay, so I'm just finding where all my lights are, and I'm going to be chopping and changing. I think I've picked a difficult animal, but you know. And the colour that I'm using here, it's not white. It's like an off-white. It's an off-white. It's Faber-Castell 270, if you can see that. Yeah. Finished tiling my floor. Oh, terrific. Wendy says, floor downstairs and sat through the hurricane. Oh, you know, we got news of your hurricane here in Australia. Just amazing. The devastation that it's created, and you know, you're at the whim of the weather. That's so sad. We don't get hurricanes here, we get cyclones, and pretty much does the same damage. It just sweeps through and it wipes out a whole town or everything in its path. Yes, it is nice when they drop by, isn't it? You know, it is lovely, isn't it? I quite You know, Wendy, Steve Smith, one of the other guys that hangs out with us on Will's channel, he's also in that area, Texas, and he had sent an email asking, just excusing himself from not including himself into the live streams because his house, you know, was being affected by all of this weather. So yeah, I hope he's all right. I actually should send him a message to see if he's okay. Hopefully he is. Yeah, he is. Steve is in Texas. Yes. Wow. You'll have to excuse me. I'm going to have to put my specs on so I can see better. Oh, look, that's better. So what have I been doing this week? Just catching up on house things and thinking about my next painting and what I want to do. I've got so many things in my head that I want to do, and just there's no time. See, I've got a day job, and so I can only do things on the, you know, weeknights and on the weekends, and plus I always enjoy catching up with Will as well on Monday nights, and I'm one of his Patreons too, so he does some tutorials on Friday evenings. Well, they're Friday evenings for me, but probably PM for him. So between that, because I never want to miss those, because I love hanging out and checking out what everybody else is doing and stuff like that. So Wendy says, it's been crazy, haven't seen him. He still wasn't on Patreon today, and he usually drops by. Last night, that's probably about the only one that I've missed for a while, because I had people over, so I couldn't, you know, duck away. But yeah. Testa says, I finished doing my smart art box for August, which was a pastel portrait. Did not like the pastels they sent. They crumbled to pieces. Oh, wow. What kind of pastels did they have in the box? I've often thought about getting those, but because it's one way to get you to try something different, isn't it? So to try something different and out of your comfort zone. Yeah. What I might do is sharpen Stedler pastels. Really? Never seen them. Sorry, I look surprised because I am. Yeah. So yeah, so what else did I do this week? I'm very anxious to finish my project, but I've just got such a long way to go. But you know what? I'm enjoying it. I'm loving doing this. It's something that takes my, you know, it just takes me away and makes me relax when I want. Actually, I was about to say relax with a glass of wine on one side of me, so but it's probably not a good thing for me to do that right now because it's very early in the morning. So what I'm doing here is just very lightly just placing colours where I think that they should be, and just intensify and intensify the colours. Wendy says, I'm going to upload the video hopefully next week. I also changed my system again, so I've been trying to transfer everything over. Your system? Oh, I've just got a new computer system, care of my son-in-law who's helped me out. He's into computers, so, and I just managed to, and I did a lot of research in trying to get the right mix for what I do. Wow, that's a big job. Sennelier, okay. Oh, I understand now. Sennelier, you mean these ones? And yes, they are crumbly, but they are beautiful pastels. These are one of the best, and with Sennelier, I think they've got about 525 colours in their range. I think that it's one of the biggest range of colours, and it's really good because it's got all your information, the pigment information, your star rating for the light fastness, all sorts of things. See, look, it's all, but just, oh, it's just lovely. It's going to be one of my tiger colours. Yeah. And another one, Wendy, I've got another one. You should have a go at Schminky Pastels. They're also very, very similar, and you can see that they've got all the pigment information and the star rating. Now that's something you may have these, but it's this art shop. It's this art shop that I go to, and they specialise. That's one of their in pastels, and they have all. They've got so many. They've got like, as you know, Schminky, Sennelier, Unison, Rembrandt, Holbein, all the hard and the soft pastels, and they're into the oil pastels as well. They're into Blue Earth, which is the American ones. You thought that Sennelier were crumbly. You should have a go at those. They are just super crumbly. You hold them and they crumble. So, yeah. Why do they crumble so bad? Oh, why do they crumble? You know what? I couldn't say, but probably because they've got less binder. I can only suspect that they have less binder. If somebody else knows more about the chemical properties, but because they're so pigmented, there's less binder, so they're not as hard. I can only put it down to that. So, but you should have a go at these ones as well. Yeah. And you know, like, you chop and change, right? So yeah. And I find the Faber-Castell pastel pencils are really good. I know that people carry on about Carbothellos. They're okay too. They're because they're really expensive here in Australia, and Faber-Castell are not as expensive as them. I don't understand. I mean, we live so far away that, you know, we pay so much stamp duty, or the what do you call it, the import tax on these products, so that's probably why. Yeah. So here, and what I'm doing here, because this is this is Pastelmat, the paper, and I find that the darker the paper, the more the pastels pop. And I'm just applying just light touches here, just so I can just work out where all my darks are, because I know that I'm going to put more layers onto this. And I lost my train of thought there. What was I going to say with that? Oh, the fact that you can layer so much with this, so that's why I'm just doing a very light touch. Hi Tamara, welcome. How are you today? Thanks for joining us. Thankfully you weren't here when I was a bit IT challenged, Tamara. Wendy says, I love using pits and Carbothellos together. I tried the Derwent, but very scratchy, but didn't give a fair chance, so going to try playing around with them. I tell you what, I agree wholeheartedly with that. There's the Derwent. They are scratchy, and the only reason why I've got them is for a different colour. If I haven't got a colour that all the other ones. Like, I have a lot of faith with the Pit Pastels, the Stabilos, and the Contis. They're fabulous too. So, but Derwents, I'd really like to see how you go with them, because maybe it's just me. So, Wendy? Wendy asks, do I prefer Pastelmat over UArt? Yes, is the word. I prefer Pastelmat over UArt, but I like UArt too. I don't think I've used UArt enough. I have used it, and it's terrific. If Pastelmat wasn't around, I would probably go for UArt. Yes, and don't with oh, it's really good that you've got a good deal. But which ones? Because there's the 800, there's the 600, 400, I think, 200. I'm not sure, pretty sure. And I think there's a 500 too. You are 500, 400, yeah. And they're all different. So which ones did you end up getting? Because you can get them in packs of. Like you can get sheets of 10 in just the one grade, or you can get like you can buy them in single sheets and buy a collection of them. Yeah. I think you'll love the UArt, Wendy. And Tamara, what have you been doing any projects at all? What have you been up to? So glad that you could pop by. Yeah. I might have to do the eye soon because it's very hard to get on with this animal without doing the eyes first. I thought I'd do the eye last, but it seems like I can't. I need to do the eye first. So what I might do is I might go in to do the eyes. And you know what? I mean, this is just me, but once I do the eye in, like for example, like the portraits that I do, and I feel like I've got the eye, I feel like I've got the eye down pat, I go, yep, and it's like full steam ahead. Like, I don't know, it must be something to do with the brain. Yeah, I might have to do the eye. How do you guys, if you're doing portraits, maybe pet portraits or just portraits in general, do you find that you have to do the eyes first? Tamara says, I'm an acrylic artist, but just got the pastels. Love your work. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You always, you know, sometimes everybody has different taste in what they do, and you know, you're always going to find someone that, you know, looks at your work and goes, what the hell is that? But you know, I think so long as you're enjoying it and you're having fun, and I think it comes out in your work, and I love doing all of this kind of stuff. Although I'm an oil painter and I haven't touched oils in such a long time, which I really want to do that. So, but I'm so on a mission with finishing all of these pictures, because there's about 22 or 24 of these that I've actually got to do. So I've got my work cut out for me. Wendy says, not sure which ones they are in the red casing. The numbers start with P. Got the full set in a wooden box for $50 US. You mean paper? You got paper? Wow. Yeah. So what I'll do is, so I can get my head around this animal, I'm actually going to do this fellow's eye. So I'm just sharpening my pencil so I can get this right. Now this fellow's eyes are green, but I'm just putting a warm grey underneath because it's like a grey-green eyes. And I just need my pencils to be super sharp. See if I can get this. Tamara, I have the same problem. I'm IT challenged. It's I reckon if anybody can manage to video, they're doing really well, and I'm sure that you would get it, because if I can get it, anyone can get it. Goodness, I'm always IT challenged. And it's frustrating too, you know, because sometimes you're not quite sure, you know, if I do this, will it just destroy everything that I've done? Or, but I think it's practice too, you know. I think the more you video yourself, the better you'll get at it, and then you'll start to figure out angle shots and stuff like that, and that's what happens. I mean, I cringe when I've seen my first ones, but you know, that just means that I've come a long way, you know. There's so much out there to learn. Where do you start and where does it start and where does it end? Pastelmat. Just missed that. Tamara says I always start with the eyes. You know, I always start with the eyes too, but I thought I'm gonna struggle, so that's why I thought I'd better get into this very quickly, because yeah, Pastelmat and I actually have to. The Pastelmat I actually had to order from the UK. Believe it or not, I got the pads of different colours. Now that was expensive. I think each pack, I believe, of 16 were like $26. With Pastelmat, I should send you a link, Wendy, to get them from Australia. They might be cheaper, I think. And you can get them now in boards, 50 by 70 centimetre boards, and then there's a metre by 1200 by 1200. Yeah, Tamara too. You know, if you wanted to a hand, I'm also around as well to help you out setting up. Yeah, in Australia, there's a and what they are, they're one of the biggest art supply place for soft pastels and pastel papers, and this is where I was introduced with this Pastelmat, and they just happened to be one of my local art shops. And when I first started, this is a couple of years ago, when I was getting into the pastels, the fellow there said to me, "Oh, you know, Chrissy, have you tried Pastelmat?" And I go, "Pastelmat, what's that?" And he goes, "Here, just get a sheet and see how you go." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I just couldn't believe it. I was just amazed. Because I had tried the Ingress ones, and I wasn't too happy with that, but yeah. Wow, Wendy says getting your Copics from the UK and Korea. A shortage in the US, really? That's where everybody buys stuff from. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll start using my pan pastels as well. And I'll just make sure that I get this right. Tamara says, I'm practicing on cheap paper until I get the hang of these pastels. Very messy. Yes, very messy. But I remember when I first started with pastels, I used to have like a little plate, something similar to that, and I'd have a little wet cloth or a wet wipe, and I would just, every time I would, because my hands used to always get messy with all the pastels, I used to always wipe that, and then I had a dry cloth, and I would do that. But then I got sick and tired of doing that, so but yeah, it does get messy. Yeah, definite. I know I'm going to do a lot more on these eyes, but at the moment, just so I can or maybe, Tamara, have you tried Pastel Pencils as well? Now they're not messy. Or have you tried pan pastels? Because you can use your soft tools with that, and again, not as messy as well. Oops, not white. Tamara says, I'm entering a stamp competition and have been on the Fox 24/7, mailing him off tomorrow, fingers crossed. Stamp collection, tell me more. I'm just looking at my reference photo. Yeah, and I've got a paper just right beside me, like a test paper, testing out what colours. It's a bit too saturated, I think. Tamara says, I've used the pencils. I did a couple of portraits of the family. Just got the pan pastels so far. I love them. Yep. Well, I'd love to see, Tamara, I'd love to see what you've been up to with your pan pastels. You should send me an email and I can have a look at them. Of maybe on Facebook or perhaps maybe Instagram. It's a state stamp collection. Oh wow, the winner gets their painting on a postage stamp. Oh, wouldn't that be cool? Oh, and wine labels. Oh well, I'll be in on that one. That is so cool. Yeah, we don't have anything like that here. I don't know. Maybe we do, and I've never heard that before. You can do anything. I'm convinced. Anything is possible. Yeah. Anything is possible. I mean, I got into art after such a long time, and I feel I'm so glad that I got into it again, because I used to do it when I was a young girl, and nobody can tell you that you can't do anything. I suppose that's why I enjoy it so much now and appreciate it so much. You have to excuse me, I'm just looking for a colour that can do his teeth. Well, I'll just draw it out. Wine labels, yes, now we're talking. What part of Oz are you from? Oh, just are you talking to me? New South Wales, which is Sydney, on the east coast of Australia. And I'm probably 2 hours drive further north of Sydney, so towards the north coast. And we're approaching, or we're in springtime at the moment, so can't wait for the summer, and you guys would be in autumn now in the US. It's probably a very nice time for you there because, you know, there's so much colour, leaves and all that sort of thing. You know, when the trees and the leaves are changing colours, and yeah. Yeah, so so at the moment I'm just placing where teeth are, tongue is, and I'll adjust all my values. I'll just keep at it until I get it right. Just trying to map out in my head where everyone is that I follow. I wish they could change colours. It's still hot here. Oh, okay. Yes, well, there you go. Wendy, New South Wales. And on the west side of Australia, we're probably about, because we have daylight saving coming soon, but it's usually about 4 hours difference. But, you know, also, and yeah. Got booted. Tigers. Oh, thanks, Tamara. Probably will start in the next 3 weeks or so. This morning are starting to cool down. Oh, okay. Your seasons. Yes, I'm just going very slowly with this, making sure that I'm getting my values right. So Where are you, Tamara? Whereabouts are you? That was a good point, Wendy, just making, just checking out where everyone is. We're in Oregon, lived in Portland when I was young, and Salem later, high school years. I'm in Oregon, surrounded by fires right now, way too smoky. Yeah, we had some bushfires too here, but I think ours were deliberately lit, to be honest. Wow. Medford, I grew up in Shed near Albany. Wow. So it would be evening there with you guys, wouldn't it? Because it's about 12:30 midday, here. I was trying to time it so, because sometimes people say to me, "Oh, look, sorry, I missed your stream," and and I just think to myself, "Oh, maybe I've got to time it right." So hopefully I was able to time it right, and that way the Aussies can get in on this, and some of my lovely friends like you, Wendy and Tamara, my art friends. Yeah. Okay. Artistic, nice. Medford was a cute little town way back when. Haven't been in years. Yeah, about 10:30. Yes, Tamara, I'm up. I can be up all hours of the morning. Sometimes I forget the time so much, and then all of a sudden I look at the time and I'm thinking, 1:30, 2 o'clock. But I only do that on weekends because I can, But yeah, exactly like you do. Well, it's fun, isn't it? You forget yourself, and you forget the time, and so Tamara, how long have you been painting and drawing for? Is your story similar to mine, or were you fortunate enough to never stop painting and drawing? Wendy says, I sometimes do, depends upon what's going on. I get up at 5 a.m. during the week, so I have all day to work on stuff. Wow. Oh wow. 20 years. I so wish that I hadn't stopped. But I'm doing it now, so that's the main thing. Wow. And Tamara, what do you like to paint? What are you into? Because everybody's got a thing, haven't they? They've got a thing. There've been times my husband heads to work and Wendy says there are times my husband heads to work and before I know it, he's coming home. He took breaks to take the dogs out. Tomorrow, I look down and find I'm surrounded by dog toys most of the time, mostly animals. Yeah, everybody's got a thing, haven't they? Or things that they gravitate more towards. I like the surreal. I like the surreal and the fantasy aspect of it all. And although this is realistic, isn't it? I feel like such a noob. I wish it was doing fine. I wish I was doing fine art for that long. Yeah. That's why I suppose just enjoy it. And I look at it this way. I just enjoy the time that I have. So doing this, and I'm so glad that I've picked it up. You know, the thing that some people say, oh, how do you, like, and I hear it a lot with other people, how do people stay motivated to do art? How do they think of things to paint and you know, to keep motivated and all of those sorts of, that kind of conversation? The thing that motivates me, and I know this is going to be a little bit deep, I think, is that I would hate if I got to, say, God willing, 70 or 80 years old, I don't know, however God wants me to live, and if I was to look back at my life when there was a window of an opportunity for me to do art and I hadn't done it, and then I would be kicking myself. Actually, I would be very upset with myself if I hadn't done that. So whether I'm good at it or not, I feel I'm happy doing this, and it gives me a lot of pleasure. And to think at the end of my life, when I may not be able, when my eyes aren't going to be so good, or I might have arthritis in my hands, and I won't be able to do all of those things, I'll be thinking, why didn't I do it when I should have? And that's my motivation. Yeah. Tamara says, I've just started really taking my art serious the last 2 years, mostly just painted for enjoyment before. I wish I could come up with surreal ideas. Going to be working on fantasy and stuff soon, so hopefully I can come up with some ideas. There's just so much out there. Tamara, I just did my first surreal piece last week, cat sleeping in space dreaming of goldfish. Oh, that would be so cool. I'd love to see that. And Tamara, I agree, that's how I feel. I would be very upset with myself so much. And you know what it is now? My son, sorry, take my glasses off and on all the time. My son, who's in his last year of high school, he one of his subjects is art, and he finished 2 portraits of himself and his brother, and he picked up drawing when he was a young boy, and I go, oh my goodness, he can draw, this fellow. I was just so surprised. And so he just finished his artwork, and he was just, thank goodness it's over. He doesn't have the motivation. And I'm thinking that when he gets older and probably a little bit more mature and with life and stuff like that, he might actually think, well, you know what? I used to do this a very long time ago. Why did I stop? Because I'm always encouraging him. And even like my other sons, I've got two other sons, and they're musical as well. So, you know, I say do whatever you can when you can. Yep. Tamara, Artistic Tamara. Oh, wait, did you post that in the Lisa's forum? I did. Oh, OMG, that was so good. You asked for title ideas. Yeah, loved that piece. I'm gonna go have a look. After this live stream, I'm actually gonna go have a look at your work tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, Tamara, you can give me some, seeing as you're the animal artist, you can give me some pointers on what I'm not doing. Don't think I've got the right colours here. It's not the right colour. Oh, here they are. Been looking for them. Okay, here we go. Wendy, this is Derwent Pastel. I'm picking this for the colour. And yes, scratchy. Yeah, oh, don't like that. That's not the right colour. Trying to find the right. Just trying to find the right colour. I need a dark brown, I think. Oh, okay, I think I've got it. Wendy says, I hate doing the same thing over and over again. Goes back to my craft days when I had to make a gazillion of one thing. Now I just want to be done and move on. Yeah. Sometimes I just, after I've finished a picture, a painting, I just don't want to look at it again. Like I just put it out of sight so I don't see it again. Wonder why that is. Probably because you look at it for such a long time. Tamara says, my hubby thinks I'm funny because I struggle with trees, but the animals look real. I just think doing this is such a lovely pastime. I usually have a glass of wine in my hand sometimes, but I know that it's not appropriate here, so I don't. I struggle with the trees too. Can't get the leaves right. You know, when they curl over. Isn't it funny how you say that? Because Wendy, my husband too, with my paintings, when I was painting, and I had some that were framed, of course, and my husband also said, why don't we just put some of your paintings up? And I said to him, are you kidding me? I don't want to be looking at them. And he goes, no, let's do it. And I went, oh, okay, all right. So I've just got some in one room, so a couple hanging, but nowhere in my art studio, nowhere else in the house. Yeah, same here. Yeah. Two of unmasked art, 5 of jazzes, 2 fine arts, and 1 art a la carte. Five of jazzes. Wendy, do you know Jazza from Australia? Is that who you mean? Jazza from Australia? He's got a huge channel and more into digital art. But he's just amazing. And of course Anne from Fine Art, Anne, she's got just some beautiful artwork. I just love her artwork. And of course Will from Unmasked Art. Jazza, yeah. Isn't he cool? He's so emotional, isn't he? I just, and he's so real. This is what I like about him. He's so real, and he's really good with the kids and, you know, encouraging everyone, like not just kids, but, you know, encouraging everyone to paint and draw and works real hard. And wow, you've got to admire dedication like that. Oh yes, yeah, and this is a Kneadable eraser, and oh, it's just terrific. I can't do without it. It feels like plasticine, or that's what we used to call it when I was little, like Play-Doh, but yeah, like, yeah, I can't do without that. And having said all of that, I've got these erasers as well on hand when I make mistakes, which is all the time. Yeah. So I'm just doing bit by bit, because this tiger, there are lines everywhere and I just don't want to mess it up, and I'm just going in the direction of the fur at the moment. I'm sure that there'll be many mistakes, and I know it'll happen at some point. Oh, Wendy, are we talking? Yeah, really? Is he? Two brothers left the UK. Tamara says, I've got so much to learn with pastels. I'll try one maybe this weekend. I did a quick ocean scene as my first pan pastel piece. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, but you know what? Just persevere. If you think, oh no, this is not for me, I would say persevere. And with me, I actually like to paint tight, but with pastel, I mean, you can be, with pastel you can, you know, be very loose, but I usually paint tight. But in this certain circumstance, I just, because it's more into a realistic looking tiger, I've actually got to, yeah, make it a little bit more real. Sorry, yeah. So I'm just going slow as. Yeah, Jazza works very hard. Oh, I think I've done that one wrong. Just trying to just get, this is not right. See? Not right. Yeah. What, you know, Tamara, I do agree with what you say, and then sometimes, you know what happens to me? I get really pooey with it all, and I go, oh, just stuff it, and then I just go, then I paint loose, and I went, oh, it's there. You know, when I just sort of say, oh, look, I forget about it, I'll just paint a bit loose, like, you know, use loose with pastels, and then it comes together. I don't know whether it's because I've been working on it for such a long time that it finally then happens at the end, or that it's because I've painted loosely. I'm not sure which one it is. Wendy says, I struggle with non-realistic things. My world is black and white, so anything outside of that, i.e. abstract, loose, etc., is a struggle. Tamara says, do you find pastels a lot like working in oils? Yes, I do. I do very much. That's why it was very easy. When I picked up pastels, it was really easy for me to work with, because, I mean, don't look at this right now, but I would then put, say, a dark layer, and I could go on top, provided that my paper could withstand all the layers. Yes, definitely. And I think with acrylics too, acrylic painters would find that as well. Going into pastels is an easy transition, so definitely, because you work the same. Darks first, lights and highlights after, whereas I think with colour pencils it's the opposite, isn't it? Which is another passion of mine, but anyway. I think pastels are a great combination of. Wendy says, I think of pastels as a great combination of oil and acrylic. They are forgiving like acrylic, but blend closer to oils. Yes. You know, Wendy, I agree. And Tamara goes, I always forget the whiskers. Have to go back and put them in most of the time, and I mustn't forget them either. Got to introduce you to this colour, Carbothello, and it's 704, and it's got a extremely high light fast rating. It's got 5 stars. This colour is like a neutral warm grey. It is fantastic. And the good thing with these ones is that you can buy them, and you would know, Wendy, you can buy these single stock or buy these loose. So I ended up buying quite a few of these ones from an online shop in Melbourne. So believe it or not, my local art shop didn't have the Carbothellos. Tamara, Tamara, I love the pencils, but the pan pastels are foreign to me with the little pads. I have that one, I think. Yeah. You know, I understand what you say with the pan pastels when you're first starting out, but because you're an acrylic painter, you're applying it like a brush, and you can mix the pan pastels like on the side with a bit of a palette, and if you're not quite happy with the colours that you've got, you can mix colours as well. So they paint, you paint like like you would as if it was paint, but then they apply like pastels. But remember, on Pastelmat, you'd have to apply quite a few layers, only because I use it very thinly, and I build my layers up. So just in case if I decide that I've made a mistake or go, oh no, that shouldn't be there, I can use my Kneadable eraser, and I can, you know, pick all that colour up, which is really good. So I reckon if you're having trouble with the pan pastels, I say persevere, and then once you get how they work, you won't look back. They're the three things I love using: soft pastels, pastel pencils, and pan pastels. Wonderful combination. Is that mixed media? Yes. Is it? I'm not sure. Tamara says, I guess you hold them different than brushes. Slightly, yes. Yeah, I'd persevere with them. And Wendy says, yeah, I meant to purchase a single red after I got done with my rose. I apparently ended up ordering the entire... Oh, no! More red roses in my future. Love red roses. Oh, wow. And you know what? These last a very long time. Look at this. This is my first, this is Raw Umber Extra Dark. It's my first one that I've ever bought, and I have used it just about on every painting that I've done, and I've done many. And look how long I've had that for, and it's only just, I've only got the rims around it to go. So, and I've had this for a couple of years, and I'm at it all the time. So, sound like an advertisement. I can tell you now, I'm not getting paid to say this. So, let me get back to this. Sorry, ladies, I'm just trying to get this right here. Tamara says, my hubby bought me the whole set of pens. The whole set! That's 80 of them. And I've tried them once. I've had commissions to do though, so I haven't had the time till now. I understand. Okay, yeah. The whole set. Oh my goodness. They cost here, if I was to buy the whole set in Australia, 800 Australian dollars. That's a lot of money. We're very lucky. Although my husband buys me things all the time, but yeah, wow. He is a sweetheart, absolutely. Wendy says, nice. I tend to get full sets of supplies when I order. Don't see the point of lollygagging around. I bought the whole set too. Oh my goodness. I bought sets, like I bought, for example, a landscape set, and then I bought a portrait set, and then I found that I doubled up on some colours, and then I just I thought, oh, and I bought the is it the set, just the colour one? But I still hadn't bought all of them, and then I just started adding. So, way to go, girls. I want to say the whole set here is just under 400 US. Oh, seriously. See, everything is so expensive here. Tamara goes, I need to take a day off and clean this house before no one can find me. You know, my house is like that too. Oh yeah, housework. What's that? Wendy? Well, see, I don't feel so bad when you girls say the same thing. I do have, Wendy says, I do have a minimum until it gets so bad that I just have to take a day and do a deep clean. Yeah. Oh, so funny. That's so funny. I'm so glad that you girls, it happens to you as well. Oh gosh, I don't feel so bad. My thing is that sometimes people will come in unexpectedly, so and you know, think, oh my gosh, the place looks a mess. Oh well. This is supposed to be a Siberian tiger. They look a bit more catty. Yeah. Tamara, funny. Yeah, just applying light pressure on this paper. Oh, it's terrific. Then when I am because that way if I've put my dark colours, I can, if I've put it in the wrong place, then I can just erase it. which is a really good thing. And then when I'm confident that all the colours are in the right place, and that's when I'm going to adjust my like all my values and stuff like that. Wendy says, I'm going to do a studio tour one day soon, I hope. Just you wait, you will be amazed. My husband always asks, is there anything you don't have? I say, why yes, there is. Can I go shopping now? Yeah, I get the same. Oh, so funny. Oh gosh. And you know what? I've actually stopped buying clothes and I just buy art supplies now. I used to... Yeah, well... I don't have any pets. Not that I'm not a pet person, it's just that I just don't have time. I wouldn't have time to look after them. Trying to work out, I think I've done a mistake here. Let's have a look. Hey, do you do art in your home? Who needs to be dressed up for that anyway? That is correct, Wendy, that is correct. Lost my train of thought now, I don't know where I'm up to. So funny. It's just that I used to buy a lot of clothes, you know, but that's when I wasn't painting and drawing. Oh dear. Oh, no, that's not right. Wendy says, I didn't for the longest time. I used to raise and show Dalmatians, wow, when I was growing up and wasn't interested in the work until 2 years ago. Wow. Wouldn't trade Leilani for anything. Felicity, love her to death, but she's such a pain sometimes. Oh, these are your dogs. Because they're like little kids, aren't they? You know? No more for me. I have my two youngest are 16 and 18, and I certainly I wouldn't want any more after that. No way. I think it's time for my husband and myself, although the boys they're boys, they're, you know, they're okay. And I've got two older ones, my daughter and another son, so two older ones, much older. Certainly not teenagers anymore. Yeah, so dogs are like kids, I reckon. But they're very loyal, aren't they? That's the thing. And see, this pencil, this one in particular, I know I carry on about it, but it's very good for desaturating. So as you can see, like I'm desaturating this this particular, it's like a yellow ochre, but it just desaturates it, which I really like. Just sharpening. Oh, how long have I been streaming for? Understatement there. Leilani is always near me, and all my husband. She will not leave our side. Oh, isn't that just adorable? If she is sleeping and I walk out of the room, she comes and checks on me. Oh my goodness, how sweet is that? I hope I haven't bored you at all, ladies. Wendy says, do you prefer to work on black paper instead of white and making the backgrounds black? Yes. Do you find your colours slightly more desaturated? I find probably if I'm using black paper, the colours do look more saturated, but I think it's because that is the true colour. And the black paper helps me, it's that anthracite, it's anthracite, and I find that it just helps me judge the tones, particularly when, because this will be, particularly when I get onto the portrait, that's when it'll show. But yeah, definitely. Oh, that's okay, Tamara, no worries. my internet's crappy. I don't even know. I'm even surprised that I'm still live. Because I was going to do it earlier, but the internet was so bad. So hopefully I'm coming out nice and clear and without lag, or but then again, you know, I'm not gaming, so I'm not going too fast. Yeah, so I'm holding my pencil just, this is all very loose. I'm just very loose, just trying to work out where all of these colours are going to go, and that's when I start to get a bit more serious. Thanks. Not sure what happened, but had to unplug it. I'm like crap. Hope she's not done yet. Yeah, so very loose here. Thanks, Tamara. Oh, thank you so much. You know, I get so nervous. I get really, really nervous because you expose, well, it's a funny way to say it, but you're just you're in a very vulnerable position, and you're exposing yourself, you know, and when you're doing it live, like, you know, you'll see the mistakes, you can't sort of muck about with all of that. So I've got to say I'm a bit nervous, and, you know, I'm expecting the haters and the, you know, the thumbs down, but I just I'm happy to hang out with the people that want to hang out, and they're the people that I really enjoy being with, and I would love to learn from everyone. I've got just so much to learn, so I'm happy for feedback. I'm happy for anything like that. I don't think I could ever stop improving so long as I keep at it, and, you know, I'll just have a look at what you girls are saying. Even though I struggled with the pastels in the Smart Art box, I learnt a lot doing the portrait. First portrait in that detail. Want to take a go at it with my usual pastels, and see how it goes. Yeah. I agree. You're not boring, thanks. I think it's harder when there is no one there and no one to talk to. You know, thank you so much for your company. It's just so, yes, it does. It makes a difference, and you've got something to talk about. I could sit there and talk about every pencil stroke or every pastel stroke, or, you know, I agree. Tamara, oh, just ignore them. Yeah, I know. For sure, haters are going to hate. Just part of social media. Me too. Always learning. Yeah. Oh, and I've got to stop saying Have you girls been counting how many times I've said it? Or sometimes you should see, when I'm recording, this is a funny story. when I'm recording my videos, you know, when you do your intros and your outros, and even when you're doing your voiceovers, do you know how many outtakes I have? I have heaps of them. I could make a video just on the outtakes, and it's so embarrassing. It gets to the point where I end up talking to the camera as if it was a person. And one day I was telling my daughter about it. She goes, "Oh, Mum, let me have a look at your outtakes." I go, "For heaven's sake, no way, they're so embarrassing." She goes, "Oh no, come on. And I said, "All right." So I made a little video of it. It was only about 2 or 3 minutes, and she couldn't stop laughing. She had to call me. She stopped the video, and she called me. She goes, "Mum, I can't stop laughing. These are hilarious. You should put these on." I go, no way. Yeah, so my husband thinks that I should get a glass of wine and in the end just say to everyone, "Cheers." And I'm thinking, no, you can't do that. He goes, "Why not?" And I said, "But you can't." So anyway, just silly things. Sorry, Tamara, I'll answer one of your questions. How many layers can you get on your Pastelmat? How many layers? How many layers? Heaps. Not 1, 2, 3, heaps. Provided that I'm careful to begin with, heaps. And I don't use fixative because I find that the pan pastels are quite tight, tightly packed, and for some reason I think it's the paper. It's got to be the paper. So it could be several layers, maybe more. Not more than, there will come a time when you can't, but many layers, provided that you're gentle to begin with. So yeah, but there's this other paper that I like. It's the one that I tested my last video where I was talking about the color wheel, and I was just talking about how to mix the pan pastels. That's Hannah Mueller Pastel Fix. Now that's a double L, Pastel Fix. That is also a top paper, but the fact that it's not so heavy, because this is 360 GSM, whereas that one was 170. But I would use that paper more if it was heavier. Maybe we should just write to them and say that. I don't know. Wendy goes, "I do agree. I told my husband I'm going to do a bloopers video of mine and the things I do to get my energy up, or when I get tongue-tied." Blah, blah, blah. That's what happens to me. Good to know. I work in layers with acrylics too. Yeah. Funny as. And then, I then end up laughing at myself because I look ridiculous, but, you know. I think so long as I can laugh at myself, it's okay. Yeah, just sharpening. I've got a little dish here, and I just sharpen. So where am I up to? Good to know. I work in layers. Oh, I've not heard of that one. If it was close by, I would have showed you. Yeah, if it's Hannah Mueller, they have quite a few papers too. They have they've got some student grade, which are really good too, actually. but mainly it's not as good quality as their Pastel Fix, and they've got them in small pads and A3 pads and in tones as well. There's, you know, like this, greys, dark blues, even I think a colour like that. Yeah, very nice paper actually. So I was tempted to do one of these portraits on that paper, but I just want to be consistent. I just want to be consistent, and I dare say it would react differently. Wendy, I posted a quick video on Facebook of me doing my Into Wheels course. I saw that. That was so cool. I like that. I really enjoyed your video. I really liked that one. Of course, and the painting fill. Oh, that should not be there. You don't like oils, Tamara? What didn't you like about them? It's funny, I say the same for acrylics. Because acrylics just dry real quick on me. So, but I think it's probably what you pick up first, or I don't know. I don't. Can't explain it. I admire the people that can work in both acrylic and oils. Yeah, when you're recording, you have to laugh at yourself, make things go so much better, and lightens things up. So funny. Thanks, it was fun to do. Don't have the patience for them. Dry time is a pain. Yeah, I know, they do dry slow, but I do use a medium, but I know what you mean. Particularly when you want to do when you do a layer, and then it only takes about maybe 10, I don't know, 15 minutes to dry, and then you can go over it again. You can't do that with oils, I understand. Yeah, that is the difference. Yeah, I think it's because when I was at school, our teacher introduced us to oils. Didn't introduce us to acrylics, which was strange. And I think it's from that. But I've got acrylics which I'm determined to get good at. It's just that they are tucked away. What I really want to get into is watercolor. I've been playing around with it, and I just love it. And that is so different to pastels, to acrylics, to oils, but I'm just in love with them and what you can do. But I'd like to, because I know a lot of watercolourists, you know, they paint loosely, but I like to paint tightly with watercolours. I definitely think that you can do it, and I think some people get a bit snooty about it, but I don't worry about that. What oil paints do I use? Have you tried alkyds? Yes, I've tried alkyds, Wendy. I've got, let me see, it just so happens there's one of them, M. Graham, which I've got quite a few of. I've got Schminky oil paints. I've got Winsor & Newton. I've got quite a few brands. Sorry. And another one is Langridge. This is an Australian company. High quality. So these are just some of them. So it's, yeah, M. Graham, Langridge, Schminky, Winsor & Newton. Which other ones do I have? Lucas. I've got a few other ones, but they're the ones that I like to use. Love them. Been wanting to try alkyds, but haven't yet. Acrylics mind me and oils don't. Watercolour is hard. Yes, it is. It is hard. So why would I want to do that to myself? I want to play with the watercolours too. Got the entire set of, I think, the Mungio. Don't remember which one for sure. Tamara says, tried the golden opens and didn't like them. You know what I've got for acrylics? I've got the Atelier ones. These are the ones where you can reactivate. I figured I needed some help, so they're really good with things like that. With me, I've got a whole heap of mediums for the acrylics. You have no idea. One for every occasion. What are my thoughts on water soluble oils? I think, you know, I haven't tried them. I don't understand how that can be though, water soluble oils. But I think Daniel Smith make those, the water soluble oils. Yeah. What are your thoughts on water? A question I ask myself all the time. It says, Tamara, I saw. The Atelier, yeah. Yeah, they're terrific. I've got all the mediums. One that opens them, one that seals them, one that reactivates, one that slows down the drying process, which could also be like oils. But I've just been trying to finish this project that I'm on so quickly that I haven't had time, and sometimes like when I'll finish something like this, I'll give myself a break and try to do something new just so I don't burn out. And it's just something for me personally. I don't show these, but yeah. Yeah. Oh, the golden, you mean? Reactivate too. I saw those, thought about trying them. I suppose if you invest in one brand, or is it that you can, or for example, the golden, can you use those with like the different mediums to open up other other brand acrylics? That's my question. Oh, I use the airbrush to keep my acrylics wet when I need to. Oh, what a good idea. I got an airbrush. Yeah. Do you all do any sketching in like a sketchbook? Yes, I do. I do, and I use my watercolors in that one, and I've done a few things in that as well. Sometimes I try out if there's an element of a painting, I'll try that element in my sketchbook. Yeah. To be honest, I haven't been even tempted to buy the water soluble oils. I figured I've got all the other ones to use. Tamara, I don't think you can use them to reactivate other kinds. Oh, okay. Well, I've got heaps of sketchbooks that I haven't done anything with. That's naughty, isn't it? Well, you see, I've got a fetish for paper. That's my excuse. Like I need one. Yeah, so have you seen the latest sketchbook challenge? Have you seen the latest sketchbook challenge right now? Wendy, what's that? Is there a challenge? What challenge is that? Oh my God, I love paper and pens and pencils. Going into an office store is always bad news. I have tons of art paper too and sketchbooks, just keep getting more. It's, if a medium doesn't play nice on one, then try another. I'll just come over and draw in yours. Oh dear. Yeah. You know what's really funny? Yesterday I went into my art store to buy, because I needed, this is how I keep my my sponges. So I needed, because I knew that I was going to be painting with this, and I was just running low on some of these. And of course I do reuse some, but some I've eaten them up so much, you know, that through just beating them up, so I wanted to buy some more. Well, of course I didn't just come out with these. I came out with paper more pencils. So there, same, Wendy, that's what I'm trying to say, the same. We can have some wine too. Oh, lovely. You know what, Tamara, I live I'm about 40 minutes drive from what's called the Hunter Valley. The Hunter Valley is a place where it's a winery, and there would be over 148 cellar doors. And so from time to time, my husband and I go out for a visit to one of the cellar doors, and we test wine, or taste, and that's when we buy wine. And honestly, I'm tempted to just have a glass of wine next to me next time I live stream, but it's probably not a good thing. But yeah, but we are next to wine country where I live, which is yeah, quite tempting. So you get the big sketchbook. It is 300 pages, and you fill it back and front and fill it up in 30 days. That's 20 pages a day. There's no way I'll be able to do that. Well, not decent, but they'd have to be, you know, pretty scratchy sketches, I suppose. Great idea. I just have them in a drawer. We can have an art party. Oh, wouldn't that be good? I wonder if we can do a, I wonder if we can share, I'm sure you can do that. We can have an art party. I wonder if we can do it online. That'd be something. Just put in a coffee, just put it in a coffee mug. You could have a drunk stream. Yeah, that's right. No. Oh. Well, then I'd have to stop when I start to feel that, uh-oh, I think I'm going to make a mistake here. But yeah. Oh, how funny. Well, I might just do that next time. No way, I'd never get anything else done. Yeah. But yes, we live near wine country, so it doesn't take very long to get there. And my husband and I just go for a drive. We haven't been there for a while, and because I'm a member, I don't know how it is in the States, but I'm sure that they'd have that. Be members of a winery, and so therefore you're obligated to purchase a carton of 12 bottles twice a year. It's usually springtime and autumn. So that's an obligatory thing when you're a member. But hey, 12 bottles, if your husbands or your partners are drinking with you, God, that'll go in no time. Oh, what a giggle. I'm actually giggling. That's so funny. Truly, that's what my husband said. He goes, just get a glass of wine at the end of your video and just go cheers to everyone. I can't get over how he said that. Like, I can't do that. What is the, do you enjoy drinking wine, girls? By this conversation, I take it that you do. Yes, and the cheese. And the cheese. Tillamook. Is that a winery? Is that like a cellar door? Tillamook? because each region specialises in different things, different varieties. For example, at the Hunter Valley where I am, that they specialise in the Shiraz and some delicious Shiraz and Semillon. I think closely followed by Chardonnay, but and lovely. I mean, I enjoy oaked Chardonnay because I think it's just the flavour that I like. So, but our region here, that Hunter Valley, specialises in Semillon and Hunter Valley, where you'll go to another place, for example, in Australia, in Adelaide, the Barossa Valley, and they'll specialise in something else, the Rieslings or, the Shiraz, of course, the grapes, We're very lucky because all the southern part of Australia, that's where all the wineries are. Tasmania, they have the Pinot Noirs, which are just delicious. So, gosh, I might get a glass of wine after this live stream, I think, by the sounds of it. I like whites. Get hooked on Prosecco, and at my son's wedding, most Asties and regular Moscatos. Oh, okay, yeah, Moscatos are really sweet, aren't they? Nearly there with this tiger. Yes, heartburn is a bad side effect that I have to deal with. A couple of shots of whiskey. I also like a nice scotch. But I like it, for example, when, say, at the end of the day, you just, if you wanted to just unwind a bit, a couple of nips of that might be all right. I love margaritas. Looking so good. Not much dust I see as well. Like that paper. Truly, there is not much dust. No, none. But don't forget too, tomorrow I'm applying really light pressure at the moment. So, but it has a lot to do with the paper, no doubt about it. Tillamook is a kind of cheese. Oh wow, okay. One of the best I've had. Sadly hard to find on the East Coast when my must look that up. I must look that up. I wonder if we get it here. Oh look, the sun's starting to come through. Might make it a little bit difficult to view this now. See, it's close to, it's 1:53 p.m. so maybe I should just call this one a day. Oh, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I think I might call it a day, only because see, you can see the sun. It'll make it so hard to view this. Yeah, just, you know, thanks for popping by, and I'll check up on your work too, Tamara. I'm sure I've seen it. I'm sure I have. And oh, Wendy, you'll have to let me know when you're doing your next live stream. I'll join in. I am subscribed to you, so if there's a notification, I'm sure I'll get it. But yeah, I'll just keep at it. Probably grab a glass of wine now, I think, and some cheese now that you're talking about cheese. Thank you so much. Okay, until the next time. I will. Cheers to you girls. Dear oh dear. Okay, bye for now.